Hello, Dawn H. Jones here. I'm Managing Director of Hope Place HR, and our mission is to help you become HR wise. Now, if you've never subscribed to this channel before, can I just ask that you take a moment and subscribe now? And I thank you in advance for you doing so. So thanks so much. Now, today's topic is all about organisation. So if you are subject to a HR process or processes currently, there's one thing that you can do to help yourself, irrespective of the level of your HR knowledge, and that is to organise your HR case file. And I am going to show you how to do that in 5 easy steps. Are you ready? Let's go. So the first step is to gather your stationery, which will include folders, pens, notebooks, and so forth. You've got a list of the suggested items on your screen. Now, you may already have some of these items in your home. So if I suggest just going around, having a quick look before you go out and buy any more. You'll also want to grab your laptop or your iPad, anything that you're working on from a technological perspective. Then go and find yourself a quiet space, a quiet and confidential space to work, and set all of your items down. And once you've done that, you're ready for step 2. And in step 2, you want to gather all of your paperwork together. And these should include letters relating to the process that you're being managed under. For example, suspension, disciplinary grievance, sickness absence. You'll also want to gather emails, policies and procedures, and any other documents related to the process. And once you've collated your paperwork, you are ready for step 3. And in step 3, you need to read all of the information you've received to ensure that you start assimilating the information you have received. Now, it's more likely than not, you are going to have questions or queries over the information that you've received or the process, for example. So I would suggest writing down your questions, your queries or your concerns, and then sending them via email to for example, your HR colleague, the manager supporting you with the process, or your trade union rep. And when you put stuff into emails, because emails are date and time stamped, you can track when you sent a query and when you received a query and so forth. So back to your paperwork. Continue to read through your paperwork and highlight points that you consider to be important. Make notes on the paperwork, or you may decide that you want to make notes in a notebook. It doesn't matter as long as you're actually keeping a track, reading, reviewing and making notes. Now, this exercise will help you to increase your knowledge regarding your case, and that is so important. And that leads us neatly into step 4. So I cannot emphasize how important it is that you know the details of your case and that you have a personal, in-depth knowledge of your case. And one way to do this, one suggested way to do this, is to put your paperwork in date order and draw up a timeline of events. Now, a timeline is simply a running record of activities that will help you to keep track of all the events in an organised way. So you can design a timeline by drawing a table with 2 columns. In one column, put date, and in the other column, put event. And then record all of the events in date order, in chronological order. That will help you to clarify the details, and it will also help you to keep track of your case. Now, I'll be publishing a video specifically on timelines next week, so watch out for that. But in the meantime, this should be enough information to get you started on your timeline. Okay, let's now move on to step 5. Step 5, file your paperwork. So file your paperwork in a logical format. And by that, I mean in a way that you can understand. And, and a logical format or suggested format is filing your paperwork using dividers. For example, you may have a section that says timeline on your divider. Put all of information relating to your timeline behind that. You might have a section, a file divider that says suspension. Put all of your suspension paperwork behind that. And you may have equally, you may have a section that says disciplinary. label your file divider, disciplinary, and file your paperwork behind that, and continue in that fashion. The point is that you're filing your paperwork in a way that you can quickly access information. So, if you're wanting to find out something about your disciplinary, for example, and you already have a section labeled disciplinary, you can go straight to your file divider and open your file at that section. Now, last but not least, you want to ensure that you keep your file and your timeline up to date. Remember, your timeline is supporting you to keep a track of your case. Now, that's the end of the 5 steps. Let's do a quick recap. Step 1, gather your equipment and your stationery as well. Step 2, collate your paperwork. Step 3, review that paperwork and make notes and follow up any queries, concerns, that you may have. Step 4, know the details of your case. And step 5, file your paperwork in a logical format. Now, if you like advice, please make sure that you go and speak to your trade union, rep, manage, or HR colleague. And if you want to speak to us, if you want to obtain advice from us, please contact us. Our details are now on the screen. So those are the 5 steps. As you can see, that they are very easy. So until next week, stay organised and remember, be HR wise. Bye-bye.